It's not like this is permanent or anything.
Yeah. Anything we put on the internet is permanent. So, you know.
All right. Hello, and welcome to a new experimental format with our team here, Aaron and Trevor. Here we're going to have a randomly selected game genre through an Excel document. We're going to briefly discuss that genre. We'll highlight the defining attributes, and then each of us will select 2 games from within that genre.
One of these games will be the absolute best in show for us, while the other, for whatever reason, is not so good. The catch, and what we hope will be the fun part, is neither of us will have played, or at least played heavily, the titles the other has selected.
Right, exactly. And then we're going to give a quick 7-minute explanation of our choices, and then off we go. We're going to give some color commentary as we play, and then we're going to reconvene,
where we'll give our opinions of the other's games, celebrate where we agree, and refrain from murdering each other where we disagree. After all, not everyone can have a perfect opinion.
And that's it. We hope that you'll join us, listen in, and maybe be inspired to try a few of the titles along the way. Or, let us know exactly why our opinions are trash.
And remember, engagement is king.
Rock and roll.
I love it. So, so I've got Mike's the generator here that's going to help us pick out the randomly generated genre. And then we can go ahead and pick out which game we want the other to play.
Push the button, Crown.
All right, so what are you hoping, if you had to put a guess forward, what are you hoping for?
I had to put something down. I've been playing a lot of Soul Cal right now, so fighters. I'm kind of into fighters right now.
Fighters, okay. You know what? We should probably add a dark. Do you want to add a Souls?
Ooh, a Souls-like?
Category?
Yeah, we don't have a Souls-like.
We don't have Souls-like, so we're going to add Souls-like as our 23rd genre in our list.
Oddly enough, the only Souls-like I've ever played has been Bloodborne.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I played
random open field on that one.
I did play Elden Ring for about 20 hours, and then I kind of lost interest. But I'm happy to revisit it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so we've added Souls-like. So really quick, since this is our first kind of episode, taking a crack at this, let's go through very quickly the genres that we have. So we've got JRPG, puzzle, retro, idle games, virtual reality, roguelike, Metroidvania, simulation, multiplayer. We'll be including 2-player co-op and versus.
Okay,
just to make it interesting. So we might end up playing together.
Like a Valheim versus what would be an asymmetrical?
Maybe an Overcooked.
Yeah, You're kind of working against each other there.
The divorce game.
The divorce game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, It Takes Two. There you go.
It Takes
Anyway,
Two.
sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We've got fighters, tower defense, free-to-play MMORPGs, or any MMO, horror games, flash games, sandbox games, role-playing games, city builders, side-scrollers, survival, adventure, real-time strategy, shooters, and now Souls-like.
Souls-like is the latest addition to the list, which, let's be fair here, I don't know why it wasn't there first. It's such a big one now.
Yes, it's easy to miss. I think it's a bit of a newer genre of its own genre.
Yeah. And it's like Dark Souls was the originator of this title, and it's just interesting how you can create a game and then suddenly have the genre titled after that game.
Yeah, that's when you know a game is really impactful.
Doom,
Yeah, exactly. Doom, though, isn't its own category yet. Doom-like.
Doom-like,
that would, we should make that category. I like it.
They recently on Steam just incorporated Boomer Shooter.
Boomer Shooter,
which is just Doom-like, which is just that style of rapid movement.
Sounds like an American retirement home.
The Boomer Shooter. No!
Oh my.
Well, first schools and now.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's go ahead and see which title gets generated. Actually, you know what? I'm hoping for...
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'd like to start out our series with probably something something simple, either something tower defense-y, or something side-scrollery.
Oh,
yeah. So let's see what we come up with.
Let's see what the algorithm does.
All right. Calculate. Okay, let's see. So we have landed on puzzle game.
Puzzles.
So we are going to have to pick some puzzle games. Okay. So, what do you know about puzzlers?
Puzzles? I played a lot of The Island of Dr. Brain as a kid.
Okay.
So those sorts of games. I got into Object Find games when I was a bit younger. It was, those. There's one company that makes all of these games, but it's like the Legend of the Ice Princess and things like that. So yeah, for me, puzzle games have always been. Professor Layton. There you go.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah. I would argue to say that Hugo's House of Horrors, back from the 90s, 80s, probably would have been a puzzle game.
Yeah,
you've
those
got to actually solve and find the problems, the solutions to the problems.
Yeah. There's an argument to be made. Hugo House of Horrors had a very brief run-in with the shooter genre as well.
Oh, did it?
They made a Wolfenstein clone and they just used the Hugo IP.
Okay, we're gonna have to make a note of that. And come back to that at some point. That sounds like something to cover.
Oh, it's terrible. It was on a. You remember those old freeware CD-ROMs you'd get, and it'd be like 150 demos.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you'd play one, and it would be like, "Oh, now pay $4.99 to unlock this game," but you're a kid and you don't have a credit card,
right?
And your parents certainly aren't going to let you borrow theirs.
Or even more like, send $12.99 in a postage envelope, and you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, but that was pre-internet, pre-PayPal, pre-internet merchant era,
pre-everything,
where you couldn't take payments online. That was insane. When it's like, just put your thing in here, put the postage on it, and in 6 to 10 weeks
we'll send you the game.
We'll send you the game, maybe.
It'll be little disc.
I mean, you've heard of email scams.
Yeah,
imagine how many poor kids got scammed in the mail, man.
Goodness,
joy. Yeah, but no one would cover that in the news back then.
No, because
we only had 3 channels.
We had 3 channels, and one of them was French.
Yeah. Parlez-vous français? Non.
No. Ah, mais non.
Mais non. So puzzle games. For me, puzzle games are games like Myst. When I think of puzzle games, I think of Myst. Actually, if I go back to like the original Mac, the original Macintosh, Cosmic Osmo, which was kind of a puzzler / adventure where you'd be looking in a fridge, you'd click on a glass of lemonade in the fridge, and there'd be this little dude Osmo sitting on a cushion floating in your drink, and then you'd click on that and you'd end up on an island somewhere. And it was a really interesting game, but it was kind of a puzzler because you're trying to get through to some point at the end of the game, and I don't think there is an end. But it really reminds me of the puzzle genre. But for me, Myst is the number one puzzle
Myst is
game.
King for you, hey?
It is.
I won't lie. I played Myst so many years ago that I vaguely remember the lighthouse. Or was it even a lighthouse?
Yep.
And then the really bad FMVs they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Myst, the original Myst. I think I bought the original Myst in 1998. I want to say it was 97, 98, somewhere in there.
And it was like 17 CD or like 4 CD-ROMs and like 30 diskettes.
Yeah, exactly. Back when it was like, you need to insert disc 2 now. Yeah. And
for those among us, the diskette, do you know that little save button? And like, what is this symbol? That's a save disc.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have to show you later. I've still got my TIE Fighter floppies.
Oh,
I'll pull those out
God,
later.
Those were like 1 million.
Oh yeah. There's 8. I think there's 8 discs, and then I have like the expansion pack one too.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So, what do you have in your library?
My library that could be considered a puzzle. That is interesting.
Well, that's the interesting thing, is because I actually don't.
I don't
I have know.
Nothing.
I don't know if I have any puzzles. There's puzzles and puzzle platformers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 that are considered puzzle platformers.
Puzzle platformers, eh?
And I'm not opposed to jumping into the Steam store and looking for other puzzlers that neither of us have played.
Portal is considered a puzzle. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Problem solution tends to be puzzle. Yeah.
Outer Wilds makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I've played Outer Wilds. It's
if you liked Myst, you'll like Outer Wilds.
Is Outer Wilds the one with the time loop?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I have played Outer Wilds. Actually, one of my favorite games of all time.
The galaxy or your little solar system ends, and then you're right back to the moment.
Yeah. And as we're going through this series, if there's ever a point where you're like, hey, I'd really like to revisit this game. I'm game. I'm down.
We'll talk about it. I mean, we've already discussed like having maybe like a once a month special on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Puzzle Agent.
So I've got Superliminal. Have you ever played Superliminal?
I have played Superliminal.
Superliminal is phenomenal.
The melting game piece still trips me out.
Yeah, it's like Superliminal. If you haven't played it, it's a perspective game. So you can drag things in and out of the screen to make them bigger or smaller in a 3D world based on perspective. It's really quite good. We'll have to put that on the list.
We'll have to look at it. Oh, and because my Steam settings aren't set to be like, no, I don't want to see these sort of things. There's a lot of anime puzzle games that I really, really should not be having.
Yeah, Steam has gotten kind of derelict just in the last few years. Like I'm looking at puzzle games, and I mean, pardon the title of this game, but Peeping Dorm Manager.
Oh, you see that one too?
Yeah,
I see. It's like
is,
what is that one? Yeah.
Why is Steam trying to hawk these games?
It's surprisingly high up. Like it's what, top 15, top 20 results for puzzle?
Okay,
tag?
but are you sorting by relevance or by user reviews?
I am sorting by, I have clicked on narrow by price. So that might be why it's doing it.
I like it.
Or what am I? Hide ignored items, narrow by tag. Yeah, I literally typed in puzzle and then narrowed by tag.
Okay.
Which is hilarious. What else is on here? Oh, hey, your favorite game in the whole wide world, Neko Puzzle.
Neko Puzzle.
Neko Puzzle.
That sounds like an anime cat girl puzzle game.
You might be right. Let's see.
When we were first starting discussing putting together, for anyone listening, putting on this series, we were talking about how we really want to avoid anything anime. We did not put anime games in the genre on the list because we don't want to be playing Neko Para or any of the other games that are out there. I think if you guys want to delve into that, you're welcome to.
We're not here to judge. We're just here to tell you our side.
Yeah, exactly. So Puzzlers, if I look at the user reviews for Puzzlers, what do we got here? A bundle full of cats.
Well, those old LucasArts games like Full Throttle, Day of the Tentacle, those all feel puzzly to me.
I would say, yeah, Day of the Tentacle is definitely a problem solution type game, and Full Throttle as well. It's almost like an interactive story game as well. Probably that's kind of the main genre, but let's see if that's under here anywhere. What do we got? Do we have Full Throttle? Okay, I'm going to look up Day of the Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle. That is not an anime game.
Just for those at home.
Just clearing that up.
This was a very early LucasArts design studio with Tim Schafer, I believe, was the designer for that one.
Yes.
And of course, he went on to create Double Fine, which created Psychonauts and some very big sort of names in the smaller indie community.
Very cool. They do not include it in the puzzle genre. They include it in point and click, adventure, classic, and time travel.
Point and click adventure.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to add point and click.
Yeah, I guess so, because I think that one of your favorite series, King's Quest, is technically under a point and click.
Actually, I think early King's Quest would not fall under point and click because it was text based.
Oh, that's right. They didn't quite have the mouse thing figured out yet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna have to pick something. I'm thinking might have to see what is in the store.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of puzzle games on my.
Well, how many games do you have in your Steam library?
In my Steam library, currently, I have 348.
Okay, 348, and I have 316. Yeah. So you actually have more games than I do.
I think we talked about this off camera, but like whenever there's like those like, hey, collection sales, like get 38 games in this collection for like $20, it's my FOMO kicks in and I have to click it.
I like it. So puzzles, lowest price. Let's go with something. I mean, there's a lot of free puzzle games.
Okay.
What do we got here? Wow, there are a lot of free puzzle games that nobody should be playing.
Puzzle Pirates. Oh, Portal Revolution. This is a free expansion to the Portal series.
Portal Revolution. That sounds like a good one. Do you want to take a crack at Portal Revolution?
Let's take a crack at Portal Revolution.
Okay, so if you're going to do Portal...
Because Portal was one of my absolute favorites.
It was good. And when they finally introduced some multiplayer, it got even better.
Oh man, the multiplayer for Portal 2? Hilarious.
We'll have to do a Portal 2 speed run one of these days.
It was absolutely outrageous when... Yeah, no, you could do some absolute shenanigans.
So let's see. I am going to pick. I'm actually going to go by user reviews because
Always a good call.
I'm seeing a lot of games that just like, Steam's got a problem of like, there's like over 100 and some new games being released on Steam like every week now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just junk games that people are just mass producing.
Right, and they'll buy some Unity assets, slap it on, call it done.
Yeah.
There was this one guy, he's pretty notorious for it, but he'll make a game and he'll charge like $600 for it.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
All right, so let's pick one out for me.
Let's pick one out for you.
Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, some of these genres, we're not going to probably have a lot in our own Steam libraries.
Yeah.
Just because they're maybe genres we don't play all that much, but maybe we can find some games we like.
Yeah, and there's always the 8-hour return window.
Oh, The Room. Is The Room The Room is a puzzle game.
Oh, The Room.
I've never played The Room.
I've only heard stories. I've never played.
Okay. It is a puzzle mystery point and click, atmospheric. So I've never played this before. So are you good?
Yeah.
Sweet. So I guess I'll do The Room.
You'll do The Room.
So we've got a mysterious invitation leads to the attic of an abandoned house. In the room is a cast iron safe laced with strange carvings, and on top, a note from your distant companion. It promises something ancient and astonishing. Concealed in the iron chamber, you need only find a way in.
Dun, dun,
I love it. I'm down.
You're
down.
sold.
$6.49.
Sick. That's a steal.
I can get the whole bundle: The Room, The Room 2, The Room 3, and The Room 4 Old Sins for $26.96.
$26.99.
Canadian dollars. Isn't it great?
That is for our not Canadian listeners, if you're out there. That is like $3 US.
Yeah. It's probably around like between $3 and $4 US. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it. And so, what about Portal Revolutions? What's its claim to fame?
Portal Revolution. So this is a community mod. So this is fans of the game who've sat there and developed this. So here we go. Update to our release. 1 million views. Oh, there's not really any like little spiel about it. But we all know the story of Portal 2. If you don't, you need to check out Portal 2. But Portal, seminal series, it's based you as a lab testing associate, and you are set loose in these puzzle rooms, and making use of the eponymous portal gun, you open and you manipulate the environment to solve these rooms while being overwatched by the Shodan-inspired... yeah, I got a System Shock reference. What about it? The Shodan-inspired GLaDOS, who is just wonderfully voiced. Her characterizations is so good.
Please proceed to the next room where you will be tested. Yeah.
Remember, the companion cube is not real. How could you betray the companion cube like that? It was your friend.
Yeah.
It loved you.
Yeah. If you get to the end, there will be cake.
There will be cake.
Yeah, spawning the cake is a lie.
Yeah.
That's the meme that has been living on for generations.
Yeah, and then kind of really put Jonathan Colton, a singer-songwriter, into the spotlight too, because he wrote the end song there. The This Is a Triumph.
Oh.
I'm making a note here. Huge success.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our games picked out. I'm installed.
I'm ready to go. Portal. I had to install the base Portal 2, and then jump on to Portal Revolution. But yeah.
Fair enough. Well, why don't we jump in? Give these games a shot for, what do you think, about an hour? We can probably get a good
We could probably
delve
do
in.
an hour. Yeah.
Excellent. And then we'll come back and talk about what we like, what we don't like.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's go.
Boom.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Good luck, don't die.
I'm already dead. It happened so fast.
This is definitely a puzzler. Oh my gosh, this is like straight up missed.
Giant red button.
Which
Yeah,
means-
I'll push it.
Which means I'm going to play for probably like 15 minutes and I'm not going to get anything figured out. 'Cause since I was like, when I was 12, puzzlers were easy for me.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've got older. Puzzlers are so much harder.
And the worst part is like a puzzle game is always designed with like the designer's common sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense. And does it though?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the classic for me will always be Space Quest 1, where if you forgot to pick up a code at the very beginning of the game,
yeah,
you could play all the way to the end
yeah,
and be done. And
yeah.
it made perfect sense for the designers, but like it didn't make sense for everybody else.
Yeah, or back early games, you would play to a certain point and then you'd get stuck because you missed something so further or early on into the game that there's no way to progress, and you have to go back. Like I often think about the trick that I still use for 3D games or any games where you have like a map. Mm-hmm. Where I basically just hug the right side of the wall and just keep hugging the right side of the wall until you find all the secrets, like Wolfenstein, right?
You just spacebarred that.
Yeah, you just keep spacebar. You just mash spacebar like 1,400 times every minute, right?
You weren't able to jump in a lot of these old FPS games, so spacebar was often like the E key of the day.
So my first clue is feed me and I shall survive. Give me a drink and I shall die.
Oh, that's a classic.
I like it.
I mean, I'm not gonna, but
no, you can't help me out. You can't help me out.
I can help you.
I mean, I'm thinking like Little Shop of Horrors here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I have to feed
Seymour.
the plant a human instead of water.
Okay. I'm glad they got like an actual VA for this. It's not the original GLaDOS brain damage evaluation survey. Oh. All right, so I guess I volunteered to become an emergency responder for the Portal Labs, but at the same time...
So I'm looking at a puzzle box.
Oh, that's a beautiful puzzle box. As for Portal, it's, they captured like that rundown science station really well.
I found a secret keyhole.
Oh, a secret keyhole. It is.
I don't have a key for it, but I found a secret keyhole.
Oh, they're not going to tell me why the portal gun is dangerous. All right, so that was the tutorial level. And
how'd you do?
He didn't make fun of me, so so I think I did okay.
Did you get cake?
No, we just discussed this. There's no cake.
We had preemptive cake the other day.
We did. It was really nice. It was our first meeting.
I need to find... Oh, there it is. I found the fire symbol. Perfect.
Yeah!
Wood feeds it, but water pushes it out. I guess I should give it a push.
There you go.
I guess Oh, look, and there's that weird-shaped key.
Hey! Uh-oh. I'm in my first hardware... Oh, no, I'll just do that. Oh, well, I'm a putz.
Oh, no.
There we go. I forgot the one of the key elements of Portal was those weird little grills that reset your portal gun. For a fan mod or community mod, this is really well done. But it's nothing new. It's Portal.
Portal. You know what? I'm really hopeful that they come out with a really like a really multiplayer Portal where you like with puzzle maps where you need 3 people or 4 people. I could definitely, when I do like a LAN party, I could definitely get people into doing that.
Oh, who wouldn't? My goodness.
Trying to solve this last piece of this puzzle box, and this is just the tutorial. Did I get it?
Oh. I just killed myself.
Aw. Did you portal underneath yourself and fall to your doom?
Worse, the fancy tutorial guy was like, "Hey, blue screens are good, red screens are bad." And I went, "Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense." And then I promptly walked into a red screen.
Oh no.
Yeah, not my proudest moment. I'm so clever.
Did you solve the mystery?
I solved the mystery.
I'm only missing one symbol. One symbol and I can open the box. You know what the nice thing about only missing one symbol is? Is if you know what the other ones are, slide through the other one until you get it.
just brute force that sucker.
Brute force it. I mean, there's 4. Each one has 6 combinations. There's only so many to go through. I could sit here all day. All right, now is that permanent? No. Okay, so I have to get you back there. But because despite
my best efforts, my mother didn't raise an idiot. I can put that right there. It's happening. All right. Well, as always, my genius is something to be feared.
You're winning.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning?
Let me tell you, this is... You very rarely get this in any other genre, but solving the puzzle is so big. Like that sweet dopamine rush.
Yeah, especially when you struggle with it for a while, that like anticipation builds, and when you finally solve the puzzle, you're like, oh my god, yes,
Yeah,
I did it.
I did it. I'm the smart boy.
Look at me, I'm the smartest person in the world.
Everyone else has to be complete idiots. Meanwhile, you took like 3 hours to solve the puzzle.
Right.
People are like, oh my goodness gracious.
This game makes me feel stupid.
I don't like it.
I don't like it anymore.
Mommy, the game's making fun of me.
Right.
Oh, I don't want that.
Man, we're like down to 15 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know how to solve this puzzle. I'm on puzzle number 2.
Puzzle number 2. You know, hey, that means you got past puzzle number 1.
I did.
Good on you.
Which was the tutorial puzzle. So if you can't
So
get
you
past
know
the
what?
tutorial puzzle, you
Probably shouldn't be
yeah,
here.
your IQ is not as high as you think it might be. You know?
Which is, it's not the worst, but, don't hold off on publishing that Nobel Prize,
Right.
I don't know why they have toilet sounds, but they do have toilet sounds, and it does not make me feel like a smart boy.
Man, this is hard. All the letters that I think it is don't exist on them letter wheels.
Oh, if I just had the orange part of the portal gun, this puzzle would be done in a snap. Which, limiting your ability is a very interesting way to make the puzzle harder,
Yeah, it's going to limit us, that's for sure.
Yes, it's that's making the puzzle hard for you to solve, Aaron. Just that.
That's it. That's all it is.
That's all it is. You always think, oh man, this is impossible, and then you find the answer, and you're like, oh no. It is I who have the smooth brain.
I only have this little letter to go off of for clues. It's definitely a riddle.
One might even say an enigma.
Enigma. Edward Nigma.
Where is he?
Where's Edward Nigma?
I swear to God. Swear to me.
I need some Dresden. My nose is plugged. I've had COVID for 4 weeks.
It's that long COVID. The vaccine doesn't help with that one.
Right.
You have it.
I mean, he was in a bat cave.
Hey! How long have you been sitting on that one?
I mean, right?
It's the Batman virus.
All right.
I made it with bats.
I made it with bats. Alfred says I shouldn't let them tickle me, but... So, those were the Portal Revolution, and your game again was...
The Room.
The Room.
The Room, yes.
Interesting.
Yes, quite. The Room.
The Room. There was a Silent Hill game called that, wasn't there? Silent Hill 3, The Room, or something like that?
I'm not sure. Although I have been keeping an eye on, I guess there's a new Silent Hill movie in the works.
No way.
I don't know. It could just be one of those articles you read and they say, yeah, it's coming, and it never comes.
Because I know they did like ARG kind of Silent Hill, where it's like it was all happening, and then the viewers, could vote or spend money or whatever to influence what would happen next. Sony was putting it on, and surprise, surprise, a very organized cabal of people started throwing their money at a very specific direction they wanted it to go in.
Silent Hill is like one of my favorite horror genre properties.
Yeah.
That I have been deeply unsatisfied by anything that they've produced, like movies.
But
like the lore and the world and everything is so interesting. I think the problem is that what we needed when the Silent Hill movies were coming out is we were in a state of anything was going to be produced and turned into a movie. Now we've kind of moved into like things work better as a TV series and streaming. I think we could really use a Silent Hill like one and done, one shot series.
Yeah.
8 episodes. Really
the arc.
Cover the arc, get into the lore,
And then,
and really
Move on.
visit the terror of like I want to see like horror movie style. You know what I
Ooh.
mean?
Yeah, no, I recently rewatched, or well, not rewatched, I just watched the reboot of the Hellraiser series.
Yeah.
And, if you compare it to the original Hellraiser, just as good, in my opinion. And if you compare it to, like, the last couple of Hellraiser movies, oh, it needed the reboot.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, thoughts, reflections?
Well, yeah, I think as far as puzzle games go, it was definitely challenging. So I enjoyed it. How
Yeah.
about you?
Well, and Portal really had that dopamine kick.
Mm,
Like when you solved the puzzle and everything worked out and the doors opened and the little chimes went off, you're like, yeah, I'm such a smart boy.
So you mentioned it's a community-made mod
Yes,
for
yeah.
Portal 2.
Yeah.
Um,
Using the Valve software, you can see the Half-Life 2 written all over it, like that sort of, I guess, physics-based engine they use. Havoc, I think they call it.
yeah, the Havoc engine. Yeah.
Oop.
So what did you like about it? What sets it apart from,
The original
the
Portal?
original? Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. It's Portal 2.5.
Excellent.
Like-
Excellent. Portal continued.
Yeah, exactly. Which is good because more Portal is always fun, right? And the level of quality they managed to deliver, it looked sleek. Like this could have been a Valve release. So that is to their credit.
I like it. Do you think we'll ever get a VR Portal?
Oh man, that would be just so rough. You feel stupid now.
I mean, Portal 2, right? Created by Valve,
Yep.
who owns Steam,
Mm-hmm.
who
And subsequently us, but that's besides the
yeah,
point.
we have over 300 games. They own us.
Yeah.
They're putting my kids through college, right?
Or I'm putting their kids through college. One of the two.
Exactly. So I, on that note, their Steam created Steam VR. They've got the Valve Index.
Yep.
Yeah. What would you play a VR Portal?
I absolutely would play VR Portal. Like I think that would be, and they did play a little bit with the VR Half-Life Alyx, right? And it at time it didn't do very well because people were really hoping for the big three, right? But coming back with like a sort of sober second thought, Half-Life Alyx was an interesting sort of display of the power of VR, and I think as the technology has only evolved, that a Portal VR would be stellar.
Yeah, I know. They say something in the range of 6 out of 10, somewhere in that range of people get motion sick playing VR games.
Oh dear.
And Half-Life Alyx,
Stock up on gravel.
I was the very first VR game I ever played was Half-Life Alyx.
No way.
Yeah, I went straight into Half-Life Alyx, and I played for like 45 minutes, and I was sick for 2 days afterwards.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it messed with my brain. I was not prepared.
You weren't ready.
I was not prepared.
I was not ready.
Wow. So I think a Portal VR game would definitely make me ill.
Oh,
if they didn't do it
especially
right.
because the whole there was like that whole concept of like momentum is carried through a portal.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you like go.
I would give it a try though. I mean,
Oh man.
I would only do it for about 5 minutes just out of fear of getting sick.
Yeah.
But I think I would give it a shot. Yeah.
Just tape the airplane bag to your mouth.
So if we were to look at game ratings,
Yeah.
if we were to look at Portal, this Portal mod,
Yep.
as break it up in a couple categories. So if you think, graphics, gameplay, story, and maybe overall what it has to offer.
Yeah. No,
Out of
that's-
10.
Out of 10. Well, graphics wise, it's using a very dated engine,
Hmm.
right? And we have to ask the question: is it fair to rate it against, say, a Cyberpunk?
Fair.
Or should you rate it to what that engine was capable of
Mhm.
in that era?
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to fall on the side of like it's you got to compare apples to apples, right? And so that engine, when it was developed, was capable of these things. And to its credit, it does what it uses the engine to its full ability. But it's not interesting. Like the rooms are all the same, the layout's the same. It's not a creative use of the engine. So I'd give it a solid 6, 7.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
it's not breaking any boxes here, but it's also not doing it badly. You know?
Good.
Storyline, I didn't really get into it, right? I just beat the tutorial level. I got the big twist. So I don't, based on what I've experienced, it's Portal. You wake up in a room, you're given a gun, figure it out. Only instead of, they will learn to fear you, it's more like you're going to feel pretty stupid for about 17 minutes. And then, that one brief moment of I'm a genius.
Yeah.
So, it was good in that respect. I tentatively will give it a 5.
Okay.
Not because I saw any major flaws, it's just I didn't get to any of the big story elements, right?
Fair enough.
And then overall, it's more Portal 2.
Yeah.
It's like you go to a restaurant and they're like, yeah, we got meat, and more meat.
Right.
And you're like, well, I like meat, so this is going to work out. Right?
Was it a paid mod or a free mod?
No, it was a free mod. And on that note, for value, right? Like just that's outrageous. Especially again, given that the creators did a very, very meticulous job. Like it could have been an official release.
So as far as like it being a puzzler, as far as the difficulty of the puzzles, the satisfaction of solving them, out of 10.
Out of 10, there's something about it. It's a 10er for me.
Good. One of the things that I appreciate about a lot of games is that there's a lot of games out there that go hard for the graphics.
Yeah.
They don't really deliver anywhere else. The game mechanics just aren't really fun.
Yeah.
But if you can deliver, if it's a puzzle game and the puzzles are 10 out of 10, then it's a good puzzle game.
Yeah.
Right? Then it's a great puzzle game. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever played Game Simulator Tycoon or whatever. Game Developer Tycoon.
Game Dev Tycoon. I have played it. Yes.
Yeah. Every time I would always just like put all of my time and effort into the story.
Yeah.
Right. And most of the time it did well in the game, of course.
Yeah.
Real life, I don't. Yeah. I have my opinion there, but
yeah, it'd be really cool if you could do game dev simulator, but with AI, so that it actually builds the game that you're trying to dream up.
Oh, wouldn't that Baba Is You? I think got close on that, but
that would be cool. That would be cool.
Anyway, yeah, but same back to you. We got the room. You had like some really cool puzzle elements there. Where would you put it?
Yeah, so played for almost a full hour. Got through the first chapter, the tutorial chapter, and then started tinkering with the chapter 2. It's definitely like a typical puzzle game. The puzzles are challenging. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, for me, I don't play a lot of puzzle games.
Right.
I'm more of the casual gamer.
Yeah.
But the puzzles were good, challenging, fun.
Casual gamer. He has over 300 titles on Steam.
I know, right? Yeah, casual gamer, but I've spent way too much money on games. But yeah, I think puzzles wise, I enjoyed the puzzles. I thought it was challenging. The graphics are really good. The audio kind of has a really nice like air of mystery ambience, kind of chill to it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, ultimately I think it nails the puzzler. I think I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's a puzzler. Solve the puzzle. But it wasn't that easy. So when you do solve the puzzle, I was like, yes, I got it.
Oh yeah, that dopamine rush, man.
And then I was like, man, I kind of want to look up cheats. I want to get a walkthrough going.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the biggest mistake people make.
GameFAQs.com.
Exactly.
What do you got, baby?
That's the biggest mistake people make when they're playing these games is I'm going to go read a walkthrough on how to do it and let it tell me how to solve the puzzles.
No,
you kind of give up the fun when you do that.
Yeah.
If it's a story game and you're just into it for the story, cheating is fine. But yeah, so and I started figuring it out a little bit more. There were some obvious clues, some not so obvious clues. So I looking back and comparing it to my experience with games like Myst, it's definitely up there.
Okay.
It's just smaller scale. Instead of this grand island, this grand world that you're working with,
it's literally
you're in a room.
The room, yeah.
But I think it's cool. Graphics are great. for what it is in its genre.
And I guess could kind of touch back on like we were talking about how like storyline trumps graphics all the time. If the graphics are being used to tell the story, like the puzzle, then there can be an argument with like you want really good graphics, because if the puzzle's based off of seeing a small discrepancy and the graphics aren't any good, are you going to see that discrepancy?
Yeah. Well, I think where like I would say Myst really shot to try to be really cool graphically, while also trying to be a puzzler and less of a story, but more of like a progression of the world, learning about the world you're in.
Yeah, the story's already happened and you're picking up the pieces.
Exactly, yeah. So I think The Room, we're introduced to, and I'm terrible with like remembering names, so maybe in the future I'll make a couple notes. But
we're introduced to Bobby.
There's the main guy. You seem to be in this guy's house, and you're in this guy's room essentially. He's got these notes, and you're kind of reading that this guy's some kind of an alchemist. He's working. He's got some kind of weird contraption or thing he's been trying to build or achieve. And he's talking about this group called the Circle who doesn't really or the Stand, and they have dark arts, and so they're introducing you to like mysticism a little bit around alchemy, around the dark arts, and so it's kind of giving you a little bit of an intrigue too, kind of following you along through, and the fact that there's 4 the rooms, like game the 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's got to be some very good elements to the game that they've been able to have multiple games and produce multiple games.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
they would have had to.
Yeah, I think I will continue to play it, and I'll see kind of how far I can get before I have to look up cheats.
All right, I gotta spin this thing how many times?
Yeah, right, exactly. So just give me the next answer.
Just tell me.
No, I'll try really hard not to cheat on it, but yeah, I think I would give it, just for my brief time with it. And I've mentioned to you before, like, how things end really impact how I rate something.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because we're only doing a little sampler, I would say as a puzzler, I would put it on a high score so far. I would say like 8.5, 9 out of 10. Definitely meets the genre. The graphics are great. They've got some very interesting, like one of the pieces, there was like a 3D kind of a number puzzle where you used a lens to look at like through a transparent part of the box that was only transparent when you're using the right lens.
Amazing.
And you could see these like UV written letters or numbers, but the numbers weren't quite just like 2 of them were spelled out. The 5 on the left and the 7 on the right were spelled out for you, so you knew those were the numbers that would go onto the combinations. But then the top one and the bottom one, where you had to kind of play with the angles that you're looking.
And manipulate it a little bit?
Manipulate it to get the numbers to kind of line up. So you'd have like a 5 and you're looking at it from all different angles because it's 3-dimensional.
Right, yeah.
And then when you look at it from the right angle, you're like, oh, it's a 5 or oh, it's a 2, right?
Oh, that is...
So I thought that was pretty creative, and I think puzzle games need to be creative to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
And, again... I'm going to refer back to Myst, but playing Myst VR, I didn't solve a single puzzle in like 3 hours. And that's, I mean,
feel bad.
When you're in VR, you're kind of just enjoying the environment, taking the game. So I think it's overwhelming the senses. It's a lot harder to solve puzzles in virtual reality.
Yeah.
But I think that doing the puzzler that The Room has, where you're kind of in a small space, the puzzle's right in front of you. There's not 400 different locations you have to visit to solve it. I think it's good. I want to play more.
No, that is honestly, numbers and all of that are great kind of metrics, but for me the ultimate sort of judge is, are you going to play more? Are you going to finish it? And if the answer is yes, then that is a win for me,
Yeah, so next time we get together, we'll have to do a quick follow up on have we played more since then?
Did you play some more? Yeah.
And look what our Steam playtime looks like.
Yeah, I'll probably at least beat the campaign.
Yeah.
I didn't delve too deep, but there looked to be a multiplayer campaign as well, and I'm a sucker for a multiplayer puzzler.
Yeah.
Because there's just elements of like cooperating, and then someone comes up with an idea, and you're like, "That is the dumbest." Wait, wait a second. You might be on something.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. You're both convinced this is the right answer, and you're both idiots. You know?
Exactly.
It creates these really amazing organic experiences you get to have.
I like it. So,
All right.
So you'll play more?
I'm definitely going to play more. I'm going to beat the campaign, single player at least, and
Yeah.
then I may recruit a few people along the way to at least try the multiplayer campaign.
Fair enough.
And then the room, you said you definitely were going to just give it another give it a go.
Yeah, I'll give it a couple more hours. I'll see how deep I can get. I think with puzzle games, you, especially for someone who has ADHD,
Oh yeah.
you're hyper focused when you're trying to solve something. I think I'll probably end up planning to play it for like 2 or 3 hours, and then end up playing it for like 5 or 6 because I'll just be like, "Oh man,
But I just got to finish this.
I promised my wife I would take the dogs for a walk," and it'll be like, "Oh, it's 7 p.m. and minus 40. I can't go outside anymore."
We got a treadmill somewhere around here.
Yeah, right.
Just
Put the dog on the treadmill.
It's fine. It's the same thing.
Yeah, take them to the running track.
They were doing that with cattle. They were experimenting with like putting VR on cattle
Yeah,
and like just letting them graze in a field, and like apparently
makes them happy.
it made them happy.
I like it.
You know, like how hard is it to make a cow happy? But that's a different conversation.
Right. I hear when cows are having a great time, it's quite a bit of a gas.
Ah,
So yeah, I think you know what. Ultimately, I enjoyed the game. I'm gonna play it some more.
cool. And of course, we hope everyone who may be tuning in is at least interested in checking out some of these titles, and if they are, awesome. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I would give the room my stamp of approval.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah.
You can't beat the price of free.
Yeah.
And Portal 2 is an amazing game, and this is just more Portal 2. So it's a feel good all the way through.
Yeah, and if you don't have Portal 2, highly recommend it. It's probably Portal and Portal 2 are probably two of the best games for anyone to actually get into and play and just enjoy, because it's the first kind of unique concept of its type.
Yeah, and it creates a base work for a bunch of other sort of genres that you may want to explore later on. It's got platform, it's got puzzles, it's 3D, so you have to kind of learn the first person environment. And once you kind of develop those skills, they transfer over to quite a bit of other genres as well.
All right. And just for my memory's sake, it was the Portal Revelations?
Revolutions. Yeah.
Excellent. So for those of you who are not dyslexic like me, Revolutions.
Like the French Revolution.
Excellent. So yeah, check it out. Portal Revolutions and The Room. I've got nothing bad to say about either.
Yeah, both on Steam, both available now, and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and check us out next time. But before we end, send in your thoughts on which genres that you would like to see added to our list.
Yeah, if you notice a genre that wasn't there that you think really needs to be, please let us know. Alternatively, give us feedback on the format, what you would like to see less of, more of. We're learning as we go with this one, and we're really excited to bring this kind of into the public face.
Yeah, and I think once we've got a couple of episodes under our belt, I think we'll maybe get into opening up guesses for the next genres, and maybe do some
interactivity there,
interaction
contests, things like that.
Yeah, something for the listeners to enjoy and partake.
Yeah. We want this to be a community-driven event, and you're part of that. So thank you very much.
Excellent.
All right. Until next time.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. And then I slap a small child, but not for real, because that would be wrong.